Hello, welcome, y'all. Hello, welcome to our first Moxy Mixer of the year. Y'all,
Yeah.
tonight we are talking about how to spring clean your life. So, we are talking about setting goals for your spaces and places in 2026. And we're so happy to have y'all here tonight. Y'all, I am joined by one of the most amazing humans ever tonight, Courtney Urkis. She is our director of people culture at Moxy Live. She is our Club Moxy manager. And on top of all that amazingness, she's also a certified life coach, y'all. And so I'm just excited to be sitting in your presence. And also, hello, I'm Darian. I am
Yeah.
our digital media director and host of tonight. And I'm so happy y'all are here. Let us know, where are you watching from? Maybe you're all cozy up on your couch. Maybe you laying in bed. Maybe you're on a drive. You're going somewhere. I don't know where you're at. Let us know. We're curious. But Courtney, how are you doing?
Oh, I was just talking with some clubbies earlier, and I am totally feeling the transition of the end of the month into the new month. And so I don't even have a really good description of how I'm doing as much as I'm just like feeling that new start, that fresh start, because I feel like Q2 is going to be a happy New Year's. Like, let's celebrate. Let's just like start over.
Can we listen, can we
Right?
talk about it for a second? I do not know why we make a big fuss over setting goals in January in the
Yeah.
middle of winter. Y'all, when March 20th hit, I felt like a whole new person. I
Yeah.
felt every bit of spring this year, just feeling
Mhm.
more alive. My energy came back, my excitement was there. And I was just like, where did this come from? Like, it literally just felt like a fresh wave of like new life. And so I am so excited to be talking about, like, honestly, like revisiting these goals, especially since spring cleaning is around the corner. This is like the time of the season where we're wanting to like declutter and clean and get rid of all the things and make room for like all the new stuff. So,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think like when we talk about physical environment, that's one that I think fits really well with like quarterly planning because we always have such if you live in a place where there's seasonal changes, even if it's only a couple times a year, but I live in one where that's 4 times a year, things are so different right now than they
Yeah.
were 3 months ago, and they're going to be so different 3 months down the road too. So this is perfect for us to talk about tonight.
Yes. And speaking of spring cleaning, and y'all, since this is a Moxie mixer, we get to do things a little bit different over here. So we got a little game that we're going to play. It's called Keep, Toss, or Repurpose. Okay. So I have some scenarios. Now, this is an all play, meaning I need y'all to answer in the comments. Either we're keeping it, we're tossing it, or we're repurposing it. So the first thing I got is an old planner from 3 years ago. Are you keeping it, tossing it, or repurposing it?
Oh, golly. Okay. So, I mean, realistically, it's underneath, it's in my desk. But I feel like I'm getting closer to a place where I want to get rid of them and just save certain pages. So
Ooh,
I think my heart is in a toss place, which feels a little sacrilegious.
I know.
How about
I
you?
feel like, as much as I would say I'm gonna toss it, but we have a lot of fam in the house saying keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it.
I
But I
know.
see a few tossers, a few tossers. Okay, okay. Okay, here's our next one.
Yeah.
Y'all, you find a stack of notebooks from 5 years ago that you started but never finished. Are we keeping, tossing, or repurposing?
So first off, we all feel seen right now because yes, there's a huge stack. And like I've kept mine. So I'm not even going to say that I would toss them. However, what I've started to do is repurpose them because I have a budding artist in the house.
Okay.
And so I pass those along. I rip out all my pages that I have used, keep those, and then say, do what you will with the rest of it. So I'm repurposing mine.
Repurposing. I'll probably repurpose those. I'll repurpose those. I see a lot of keeping and a lot of repurposing. Um, all right. Okay. This next one. Candles that you haven't burned in 2 years.
Ooh.
Are we keeping, tossing, or repurposing them, y'all?
Oh, I'm curious what the response is gonna be. Hardcore keeping. And we're working, the playbook for Club Moxy comes out tomorrow. And so one of the things is going to be like working through, do you keep things because just in case? 100%. I keep candles forever until they are like done, done, done. How about you,
What?
Darian?
If it's been 2 years, I'm probably about to give that thing away. It's gonna
I
be
love
it's gonna be like I was thinking about you. Here's a card.
Bye.
If I haven't burned you in 2 years, come on.
I know.
Okay,
Well,
someone said repurpose as a gift. Okay, you are my Mackenzie. We are here. Yes.
love that.
Using them as soon as possible. How do they smell? I don't know. It's been 2 years.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. If it does not smell good, that gets out. Out.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I got about 2 more. Y'all, printed photos that you never actually put in an album or a frame.
Darian, I feel like you are calling out all of my skeletons from the closet. I'm 100% keeping them, and I'm going to tell myself that they're going to go into a frame, but that's not going to happen. They're going to stay in a box forever. They're there.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would keep them, or I would just probably end up putting them on the fridge.
Oh yeah, that's a good
We're just
idea.
gonna hang you here until I can find something with you to do. That's probably what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of keeping and a lot of repurposing. Yes, 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 yes. All right, our last one. All right. Books on your shelf you already read and you know you won't read them again.
Why are you making us do this? This is so intense. I mean, I feel like I'm experiencing this in real time. If I've put highlighters in them, odds are I'm gonna keep them. There's just something about that that feels too personal to, like, give away. But there are definitely books from, like, decades ago that was for Courtney then that
Mhm.
I give away.
Okay. Y'all surprised? I will keep them. I'm gonna keep them because if it's something that I've already read, especially if I read it multiple times and someone comes to my house, we always are like, here, check, like we're always I got one
That's
of those little stamp things that says the Library of Wilson House, like,
yes.
and so like we're always like donate, like letting people like read our books and like so like I like the idea of having like a library. So
I like that. I like that. That's so
oh
great.
my goodness. Okay, Clubbies, I feel like I got to know y'all and Moxie fam, I got to know y'all a little bit better. Okay, okay, okay. So, y'all, here's what we are doing tonight. For our time together, we are just going to be talking about our physical environment. We're going to do an audit of our goals and really look at that area of life. Courtney has some questions that we can like really look at and answer to help us get really clear on that. But before we dive in, y'all, I just need to take a moment and tell y'all about Club Moxy because this month inside Club Moxy, we're actually going deep into our physical environment. And so you're going to get a little bit of a taste of that here tonight. If you are in Club Moxy and you're here, y'all, this is like our pre-party before, our party happening tomorrow. So Club Moxy, if you don't know, is our community membership group where you receive life coaching and training from our certified life coach and founder, Sierra Friend, and our licensed psychologist and mental health coach, Tracy. Y'all, and to know Tracy is to love her. You get a monthly playbook, you get weekly reflection calls, and bonus sessions, all designed to help you take what you're learning and actually implement it into your goals, your thinking, and your real life. Y'all, it is amazing. And then you also have like a whole community of hundreds of clubbies, connectors, and other certified life coaches supporting you every single step of the way. And here's the thing, y'all, I'm never gonna stop inviting you to Club Moxy because I know how many lives that it has changed for the better, mine included. And so tonight is just a pregame of what we're gonna be doing over there. So if you, throughout our time here tonight, find yourself wanting a little bit more, you're like, okay, I really want to go deeper. I might need some accountability. I really want to have a life coach help me work through this. I have more questions. I really want to encourage you to come check us out in Club Moxy. And you don't have to take my word from it, y'all. You ain't got to take Courtney's word. We got clubbies in the comments here tonight. We got coaches and the comments in tonight. So if you're here in the comments, let us know. Ask your questions, and I know they will be completely honest about their experience and club. And then, y'all, because I talked to the team and they let me know. If you purchase Club Moxy, you get a free 2026 weekly planner as well. You add them both to your cart, and then your planner is for free.
Yep.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. I'm excited about that.
I know. But anyway, if you are here tonight and you are just trying to figure out how to get just 1% better in your physical environment, you are in the right spot. Okay. So if that's all you came here for tonight, that's okay. And that's why we're here. So, Court, can we talk about why our physical environment actually matters? Like,
yes.
Why?
Well, and that's one of the things that always is really helpful for me. I'm an out of sight, out of mind kind of person. And so, like, the 8 areas of life help me to pay attention to things that I might otherwise ignore because they're uncomfortable or there's other more exciting things. But, like, our physical environment, it really impacts how we feel in so many different ways because these are the places where we sleep, where we eat, where we spend all of our time, where we work, where we are in transition as we commute, right? All of these spaces, and they impact our energy, our focus, our momentum, our excitement. So, like, I'll just share, like, in my day, when I'm in my physical environment, I know there are certain things that it'll drain me if they're not, like, set up great. So if I'm in my office and there's a lot of visual clutter, my eyes are always paying attention to it. So I have a harder time focusing. And then you also get those voices that speak to us in those spaces that are like, Courtney, you should have cleaned this up. Or why aren't you more organized, friend? Like, there's so many things that we don't necessarily think of, but that our environment is telling us or impacting us. I mean, you can even think about it. Like, if you go outside and it's the middle of winter and you don't have a coat, your environment is going to impact you, right? And so how we feel, what we're thinking about, all of these things impact not only us in the moment, but all the other areas of life, like how we're able to live into the goals we have, how we're able to pursue our interests and have fun, all can be so strongly impacted by the place that we find ourselves.
Yeah.
And I know for me, a big shift has been thinking of it not just in the, like, spaces that may come to mind, like your room or your apartment or your house, but our physical environment is also your outdoor space, wherever you are. It's your workspace. It's the vehicle you may commute in or the bus you may go to work in, right? And there's different levels of how much control we have in that. But regardless, our environment, our digital spaces, like, I spend a lot of time on this thing, right? And it can really impact how I'm feeling, what I'm able to focus on, the ways that we all kind of sometimes beat ourselves up on things. It'll impact the stories that we're telling ourselves too. So our physical environment really lays the foundation for all of our different areas of life. And so I know for me, just being able to pause and think about these places that I don't necessarily want to spend time thinking about, but impact me so much, it really does kind of set us up to be able to focus in the ways we want to focus, have energy, and kind of just feel settled.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm curious, Court, because, like, y'all, I hope y'all have your planners nearby, but if we go to this lovely page in your Moxy Life Planner where it says things to consider, you have this page. And right here, we have this page where it says things to consider when it comes to your physical environment. There is literally a list of things. We have home management, house, work, school, car, garage, yard, clothes, furniture, possessions, pets, garden, organization, clutter, mail, support, energy, peace, comfort. Court, me reading this list, I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of times we're like, "Oh, it's just where I live." Uh, no, it's a lot of stuff that's in our environment, and that all is, like, speaking to us in various ways. But I think, like, when we're looking at that, like, one of the things I know is it can feel very overwhelming, but I think the best place to start sometimes is to figure out, like, what's the lowest hanging fruit, right? So
Okay.
if you're thinking about, I can tell my physical environment is impacting me, where do I start? Think about the easiest thing that you have some amount of control over. Um,
Mhm.
so it may, if you're in a shared space, it may just be your bed. Or if you have, a yard to yourself, you know where your yard is, right?
Yeah.
Lowest hanging fruit. And then the other thing is, if lowest hanging fruit doesn't get you excited, going with what does get you excited, and something that if you work on it, if you focus on that one thing, is going to just give you that energy and that momentum.
Mhm.
And the example that comes to mind for me for that is the bedroom, because that's where I wake up in the morning. And if I
Mhm.
see around me, which I often do
Yeah.
because piles of clothes, um, I know that impacts me a lot. If someone was telling you, like, "Hey, how do you declutter?" Or some people might say, "Well, you're gonna have people over, you want those spaces to look nice first, right?" But no, you go with what is going to give you the energy and help you, feel settled, and how you wanna feel in your space first. So, anywho, I know it can be a lot in that list, but you only have to pick out one, and it's not even about overhauling the whole thing when we think about physical environment goals. It's about one small step. What's one thing that you can do to make it feel more like you, more like how you wanna feel in it?
Okay, 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 because I know Courtney. And one thing Courtney is really, really good at is asking the right questions when it's when I'm struggling with something or when I'm like needing to break something down. So if you were to take a moment and coach us and walk us through some questions that maybe we can ask ourselves when it comes to our physical environment, where would you say we start at? Like, what's probably the first question we should ask ourselves if we're kind of like, okay, what should I ask myself? Like, I see these things, but what should I be asking myself when it comes to my house, my
Yeah.
work, and these environments?
Yeah. So I think one of the anchor questions we go back to so often that's really helpful is, how do you want to feel? When
Ooh,
you are in your spaces, and this could be any, all of your spaces, what's one word that would describe how you want to feel? And friends who are watching, add it in the comments. I'd love to see, like, what words you want to channel into in your physical environment.
like,
Um,
what feeling we want, like, more of when it comes to this
yeah.
life? Okay, okay.
Yeah, what you kind of, when you are in, you can even think of one particular space that you're in, but what is the feeling that you just wanna have when you're in that space this year?
Oh, I love that. I think when it comes to you know what, I'm gonna think and I'm gonna hear what our fam
Yeah.
gotta say first, because 'cause I'm like, wait, I think I do need to think about that. We have calm, we have inspired,
Mm,
empowered and calm, peaceful, calm and cozy. Yes. I wanna feel peaceful and joyful. Ooh, peace, calm, free, serene, relax. I wanna come to can I come to your house? Like,
yep.
y these are houses that I wanna come to. Um, I think for me, I feel ease. Like, I that's what I when I
Mm,
think about my physical space, I want
mhm.
ease, like, my heart to be at ease. And I for me, all like, knowing that physical environment is more than just my home, but also my digital spaces.
Yeah.
I want when I'm on my phone or computer, especially my computer, y'all,
Mhm.
for it to be a place of ease. I don't
Yeah.
wanna be running out of storage, trying to find stuff, stressed out, like so I feel like ease and simplicity, I feel like are things that I really want from my physical environments, my digital spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would really want.
That's well, and so when we choose a word and kind of that use that kind of as our guiding vision, that starts to narrow down maybe some of the directions we might go. It helps you focus because if you want ease already, Darian, you're thinking, well, in my physical environment, whatever I'm working towards, I don't want it to be overly complex. I
Yeah.
don't want it to make me feel like I have to keep up with things,
Yeah.
right? Like all the time. Maybe, and not that this has to be ease, but maybe it's that you want the system, the physical environment to take care of itself a little bit, right? Yeah, like
Wait,
I friend. Yes, I know. Right?
not you over here reading me.
I love it. Yeah, but that's and what's important again with that word is that might be completely different from what you want, even in a different season of life, or from someone else who wants to feel energized, right? Even
Yes.
think about it like in terms of like color palettes you might have in a space that you live, right? Some people, the energy you want is going to be bright, it is going to be vivid, and then sometimes some seasons of life, some spaces you want to be blues and grays and dark purples. It's about figuring out not what you should do, not what makes you a good caretaker of these physical environments, but what you need and what you want to feel.
Yeah. Oh, court, that's good. Okay, now I'm curious, y'all. If y'all were to give your physical environment goals a color, what would they be? Like what's your color for these goals?
Ooh.
Like,
Ooh. Yeah, mine's a solid blue, like a light, not like a bright, it's like gray blue.
mine is a sage green.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That tracks. I love that for you.
That is very tracking. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I love that question. What other questions from there should we ask ourselves?
Yeah, no, that's really good. So
There are more.
we want to get that first guiding image, guiding direction. So you have that word. And then what I find really helpful is for us to look, we don't have to like recreate the wheel. We can look to different parts of our lives and say, when did I experience that? Because I don't know about you, but I'll go
Ooh.
places and whether it's a friend's house or a hotel or I'm out visiting a park or whatever, and there'll be certain moments where I just kind of like, you know how you like you feel how you want to feel and you're like, I want my space to feel like that, you know?
Mhm.
And so we don't have to like say, okay, I want to feel peace. What does that look like? I can look back and say, I want to feel peace. These are the places that I've been in that make me feel peace. These and then from there, what about it
Mm.
contributed to that feeling? So yeah, first off, like when have you been in a place that has helped you feel when have you been in a place that's helped you feel at ease, where you have felt unburdened? I know. I know. I'll
Oh,
tell you mine while you're
you
thinking
go,
about it
you
'cause
go. I'm like, I need to think.
oh gosh, I'm getting real excited because mine actually isn't a place so much as I have a particular blanket, or blankets in general, and I love a good weighted blanket, and I just got a fuzzy one that is also, like, temperature-wise really cool,
Mhm.
and there is just something about being in the room with the door closed, and so that starts to tell me, okay, the silence of being in the room by myself, the weighted blanket, the texture of that, like, fuzziness, um, those all are things that contribute to physical environment good feels for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm thinking of 2 things that, like, bubbled up. The first one is I remember, like, maybe, like, 9 years ago, I was in Tampa, and I was right by the Tampa Bay,
Yeah,
like, the actual bay, and we would walk along the pier. We were there for a week, and every day I just went and I would spend hours just listening to like the waters crashing along the
yeah,
rocks. Oh, and I just remember just being at ease, just in this state of just like peace and calmness that I remember I completely forgot. I still have this recording on my phone. And at night, I sometimes would play it before I would go to sleep
Oh,
and
yeah.
have that feeling of just like, So I remember like having that. And I just remember from that, I'm learning like just moments of like stillness are
Mm,
important. When I'm having moments of stillness, like that matters. Being in nature matters, and making time to appreciate the beauty of like, nature and all that that has to offer.
yeah.
Um, and then another time that I think it was those first 6 weeks that I got home after having my first child. There was this sense of ease because we had spent all this time nesting and
Ooh,
getting all the things together
yeah. Yep.
that I just remember I didn't have to think about the stuff because it was just there. Like it was
Yes.
already, and I wasn't, we were literally, I'm just trying to take care of this human. And it was
Yeah.
just a sense of all the nesting stuff was already set up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Those are like
Those
very polar opposite things, but like,
No, well, that's it though. You had this moment of like glorious, beautiful chaos, right, happening, but you had set up your environment so that it did not burden you. It was not the thing that was adding to that weight. And so you had, I don't know, there's so much information we just got from that. And I love this. Like oh my gosh, it was just like really, I love this. You had this moment where life was happening, and that's part of the thing with physical environment is it can be our anchor when life is lifing. And so you went into that, and you had that moment before where you took care of the things that you needed to so that you would feel how you wanted to feel regardless of what was happening in life. So it you were doing it. Oh gosh, that's good.
this is why Courtney is the life coach, y'all. This right here.
I
This
love
right here. Okay.
y'all. And I saw somebody in the comments mention going to a hotel and
Yes.
getting away. That's another time where I know I feel at peace.
Yeah.
And part of it is because I just don't have to worry about things. It goes back to that feeling unburdened by your space.
That's such a good unburdened by my
Mm,
space. Court,
mm.
that's good. That's something I know I'm gonna be journaling about next month. Like how do I unburden my spaces, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And then you had a third question.
Yes. So once you've thought about like what word do you want to channel, when have you been in a place, so you have kind of some previous examples, thinking about that space, starting to examine what made it feel good. Like
Mm,
what met your needs in that time. And so, friends, as you've been answering things, I'd love for you to share in the spaces you mentioned as your example, what contributed to feeling the way you wanted to feel there.
yeah.
The beach is a great example, and that because you already named it, it was being connected with nature.
Mm,
And so that's something that in your physical environment, perhaps in many creative different ways, is something that would bring you comfort, you know? I'm curious, do you have plants in your house? Do you? Okay. Yeah.
okay. Ca- I just got my first plants, y'all.
Yes.
My first lot. You don't understand the joy you asking me that question just brought me. If my mom was watching live, she would be like hollering because she went with me to buy my first plant because she has like a green thumb. But
Yeah.
anyway, she went with me to buy and I got a beautiful palm tree,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
because I love palms. They're relaxing, they're flourishing, all that. So I have a beautiful palm. Her name is Phoebe, and then I got a little nice green plant and her name is Juju. So we got Phoebe and Juju in my house, and they're my first life plants. So any plant tips, y'all help me out. Like any plant mama, papas, aunties, all the things, y'all help me out. Okay, so send me all your tips. But I'm very happy about this.
Yes, and it's so aligned. Not only is it bringing the green in, but, like, it's also bringing in that nature that you wanna, like that makes you feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Same, that's why yes, McKinsey, and I got plants that I only have to water once a week. I was like, "I can handle this." Yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, I love that, Court. That's so
Yeah.
good, and those questions are super, super, like, helpful and, like, something that we can, I feel like, apply now.
Mhm.
So, this is the time of our Moxy Mixer, y'all, where we gon I want you to bust out your actual planner. We're
Yes.
gonna look at I'm gonna give y'all the option. You can look at your annual goals. You can look at your monthly goals this month, or you can look at your weekly actions. One of the three in your physical environment. And we are going to look at those. And I just want us to take a moment to connect the dots. So we asked ourselves those three questions. What is this feeling we want more of this year? And when have we felt that way? And what about it met our needs? And so I really think it's important that we look at our goals, and is what we wrote down aligned with that feeling of what we want more of? And so I'm
Mm.
gonna have Court go first.
So I will share that one of the things I do for my annual goals is I do pick a word for each area of life, and I try to
Okay.
like fit my goals into that. So I will say for annual goals, I was like in the vibe, but let's be real, when I got to January, it became very practical. And I realized that the time I spend, especially in this area of life, ends up being a lot more like maintenance, which partially is reality and
Yeah.
partially is not working for me as much. And so what I've realized when I look at it, where did I even put it? Is that some of it fits and some of it doesn't. Some of it actually helps me get towards peace, which for me is going to be decluttering. That's my current vision. I want to feel unburdened. I want to feel ease. I don't want to have to make decisions. I want it to exist and like well-oiled machine. Um and so some of it's there, but then some of it doesn't really matter. Like when I think about how I want to feel and I look at this area of life, I'm like, does it matter if I do my, clean the inside of my cupboard that often? Like, no. It doesn't help me feel peace. It just helps me, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I have to do it, and I just realized I
Yeah.
don't. So, don't look in my cupboards when you come over. They're not gonna be dusted.
I love that. Okay. Y'all got a little quiet in them comments. I hope y'all checking your planners. Y'all better be
Yeah.
checking these planners and letting us know. Um,
How about you, D?
so I'm looking at my annual goals, and my focus was just to create a restorative and rejuvenating home, which I'm
Okay.
like, okay, that's aligned with feeling at ease. Okay, 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 okay. But then some of them, like y'all, I have like a section where I have like here we go. Where I have like, these are the maintenance parts, and then these are kind of like the one and doners. The one and doners aren't really, they're just, it's not really a sense of ease. Like it's not really, yeah. Yeah. So I need to relook at those. Like some of them just feel like find the right products and systems and tools for my own home and family. That I'm like, this kind of sounds like work.
Yes. Yeah, I
Like,
feel like physical environment is the one where it's so easy. It sounds more like work than work and learning. Like, there's just
yes.
a lot. And I mean, we talk about all the time, right? The shoulds, the things that we feel like we should do. And I
Yeah.
feel like the whatever industry that is our particularly homes and rooms and apartment spaces, but also cars and all of those other things. There's a lot of pressure that gets
Yeah.
put on us and that can seep into our goals. And I think one of
Yeah.
the things that's great about, like, focusing on this for the whole month is that we get to, like, dig into this and really say, "Does this match with what I want, or is this what someone else wants from me?"
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, there's some things I gotta find ways to make it more also fun for me. Because some of these I'm just like, these aren't exciting. And so I feel like Andrea actually said this. Andrea said this about crossing off her goals. She said, I never realized how therapeutic quarterly reflections are, crossing things out that don't serve me, adding ways I need joy in my life. So beautiful. Yes, Andrea, I feel that. I got to figure out a way to make these goals joyful because they kind of might seem a little stale, like cleaning routines and rhythms. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. It's all about going back to, does the maintenance goal, does the progress goal, does the stretch goal, does it meet the is it the means to my end? Or is
Hmm.
this someone else's end I'm trying to achieve? Because, like, there are things, like, I do wanna declutter, it's not fun for me, but I know that that's going to lead me towards peace. Versus sometimes I get really excited about organizing, and it's cool and it's fun, but it isn't actually helping me get towards the end feeling that I want. So
Yes. Ooh, this has a question.
oh.
Lisa asks, I hear what you're saying, but what if the work you do intentionally ultimately leads to peace, calm, or whatever you're seeking?
I think that's a great question, and that's right, that's the is what I'm doing focused on where I want to end up?
Hmm.
And is it where I want to end up versus the expectations that get put on us about what we should be doing to keep track or keep care of our spaces. So yes, if in the, like, you might have a weekly action or even a monthly goal that is not particularly exciting and maybe not even like a peaceful task in and of itself. But if what you want in the end is peace, then it's moving you towards that. So
Yeah.
really part of what we're doing is just taking a step back to make sure that what we're doing now is intentionally focused on where we wanna be a week from now, a month from
Mhm.
now, down the road. Yeah, really good question, Lisa. Thank you for asking that.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Um, I love hearing these comments. Mackenzie had said my annual goal focuses on creating and maintaining simple systems that reduce clutter, save time, and help my spaces feel calm and functional. I like the direction I'm focusing on. I love that, Mackenzie. I love that. Ebony had said, I'm doing a complete physical and digital declutter, has been on my list for a while. I also want to explore minimalism. Yes, 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 yes. Ebony, I got a book recommendation for you. Girl, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you that recommendation. Yes.
Okay.
Um, oh my goodness, Court, this was so helpful. Like finding out those questions. So my last thing to you is for
Yeah.
someone who said, yes, you know, my goal, I'm looking at my goals and they are aligned with how I'm feeling. Where do they go from there? And then the person who said maybe no, like it's not, and where should they go from there? Whether they said
Yeah.
yes or
Yeah. So if you're looking at your goals and you're like, "Oh yes, this is aligned. It's headed in the direction that I wanna head in." That is awesome. So keep doing the things you're doing to keep with that alignment. And the next step is, what kind of support do I need to make one small step in that direction? Because with physical environment, it can be very easy to get like big ideas, which are awesome. You know, I'm here for them. But also, we don't want to get so overwhelmed. So, when you have that alignment, what support is going to help you get there? Because that's the other thing, is like physical environment doesn't have to just be something that you take on your own. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about that more in club. But this is something that you can think about. What kind of support, what kind of resources that might be, or people, or time, or learning, right? Do you want to help you move and continue that aligned momentum? And then if you're looking and you're like, oh gosh, my goals are not moving me toward where I want to go or how I want to feel, or they're just feeling very over, like they're feeling like a burden. Like when our goals start to feel like the burden, first off, know that you are not alone. That happens to all of us in all of our areas
yes.
of life at one point or another. And so look at the feeling that you are anchored into, and what I want you to do is think of one way, the smallest way you can think of, that you can bring that feeling that you want into your physical environment. And so this is where community can really help, because you can brainstorm. You can always talk with the Moxy fam, because, Darian, you mentioned your connection with nature. And one idea, we could brainstorm a whole bunch. You could
Yeah.
move to the beach. Like that is a perfectly awesome goal, but that might not also fit your current season of life. And so
Yes.
instead, how can you bring nature to you, which you already did because you bought the plant, right? And
Yes.
so maybe that's it. Or maybe it's like you have nature prints like on your wall, like the art around you, or the art
Mm.
in your phone. You curate your social media whatever
Yeah.
feed so that it
Mhm.
has those feelings too, because that's our physical environment, even though it's
Yeah,
digital.
it
Like
is.
our social spaces are part of this. They impact us a lot.
Mhm. I
So
never even thought about that, Court. That's good.
oh, yeah, especially 2026. They're impacting us so much. So having that feeling with all of these spaces, that any space you are is part of your environment, right? Um, so that's if you're trying to figure out how to have goals, focus anything, attention on that feeling you want to feel. And then the other thing too is just know that we are always here to support you in Club Moxy to talk about what you want, because that's an awesome question we could spend a whole other hour on. And then
Listen.
how to help you, how to support you, how we can cheer you on as you try to find ways to align the life that you're living, real life, in ways that
Mhm.
match with those feelings that you want to feel. Physical environment, all areas of life. And so, if you want support with Club Moxy, like come talk to us. Clearly, we love these conversations.
Yes. This is literally just a piece of what we talk about. Like, you're getting me in court, but again, you're also going to hear Sierra. You're also going to hear Tracy, our queen of metaphors and imagery. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, where she's
All
just able to take, yes, analogy and break it down and like give it back to you in a way that's just like, wait, what? Excuse me? Like, how?
Yes.
How did you
Right.
do that?
All the time. I
Oh
know,
my God.
it's so good.
I appreciated this conversation so, so much. Like, it was super helpful. I'm actually like, I know now what I actually need to work on, what I'm going to be focusing on in club when it comes to the
Yes.
goals that I need to kind of relook at, reassess, and just maybe like find new ways. Maybe I need to reword them differently, find new joys. But I'm excited to dig deeper on this next month. Y'all, if you are here in the comments, let us know from tonight, what was your biggest insight. What are you going to be taking with you into this next month of April? What goals that you have in your physical environment. And as we get ready to close court, can you share with us one goal that you are currently working on right now in your physical environment?
Oh, yes. Okay. So, if you're in club, you've heard me talk about this, but we are trying to redo one of the rooms because I want my kiddo to feel how they want to feel in their room. And so it's been a huge undertaking, and I've definitely needed community support because it's a big project. And so we're almost to the part where we can like start painting walls. Maybe we've been there for a while, I don't know. But I'm really excited about kind of just redoing a room so that it isn't just what we kind of inherited, but it can actually reflect what we want. So, how about you,
Oh,
Darian?
I love that. One goal, which was just figuring out ways that I can incorporate more life into our living spaces. Like, just want to also to be more reflective of the seasons in my home. So with spring, like all last week, I went out and I got some flowers. I got some tulips because I just think those are like the
Yeah.
ultimate spring flower for me. And so I got some fresh tulips. We got, my Juju and Penelope, and just brought some life, but also just like spring. And it was just really nice to like walk downstairs and like see those flowers and just smile, like just the joy that those small things like brought me. So
Yeah.
I really, really
Yeah.
love that. I'm going to share some of the responses from our Moxie fam, but we also had a question about Club Court that I would love for us to answer. Michelle had asked, can you go over what Club is like, what the
Mhm.
meetings are like, what the support is like, and just kind of give them an overview of what Club is like. And then Clubbies in the comments, feel free to share what Club is like from your perspective as well.
Yeah. So I thank you for asking that, Michelle. So, Club Moxy, we have our own private community on our Club Moxy platform that you can do on browser or on the app. And what we do is we have a monthly theme, we have a monthly training, a live Q&A where we answer questions that are submitted from our community. So anything you're working on, you can get input from our certified life coaches, Tracy and Sierra, as Tracy, our licensed therapist. And those are two of the events that we have. We also have a workbook that we provide every month that takes us step by step through the theme that we're working on in any given month. So for this coming month, we're talking about physical environment. And so we'll talk about ways that we kind of root and assess with what we're dealing with right now. We expand our realm of possibilities. We look at things that might be holding us back and work through them and move towards practical next steps. And again, that vision that carries us forward. So that's it right now. We also have weekly reflection and action co-working sessions, which is where we host a time to get together and work on either your weekly reflections and actions and get into that rhythm, or anything you want to work on. We have momentum sessions. We have our lives in app that have been a lot of fun lately,
Yes.
where we'll talk about coaching, we'll talk about life, we'll talk about ways that you can make club work for you. And then in addition to events, I forgot the monthly goals, quarterly goal planning. We also have our community space, which is where people in club will post questions. They will share their wins. We cheer each other on. It's a really supportive community. I really love being able to share things there because there's just like we share, there's no judgment. And then we also have coaching prompts and different things to help you coach you as well. So you're getting the whole community, you're getting our certified life coaches, and then you have the structure of the curriculum as well. And it's designed so that you can have a buffet. You take what works for you in a given month, and there's always a learning library if you want to go back and revisit previous material from the past handful of years back to 2022, and then any given month. So, yes, all those things. Oh, that's so sweet, Ebony. I love
Yes.
that
I
description.
mean, all the things that y'all are saying about club, like literally it means the world to us that we can play a part in creating a safe place where others can feel seen and supported, and just ultimately like being around other people who are designing and showing up and building such a beautiful life is just absolutely, I'm always inspired and encouraged. And I just, this is awesome. Like,
I
I
know.
love that we get to have conversations like this. And um,
I wanted
yes,
to also share
I love,
this because the interesting coaching. And so that might also be a new concept. Depending on your area of life or your season of life, you may have experience with life coaching or particular niche coaching. But basically, what that is we come along as coaches and help you to move forward in the way that you want to. So we're not coming in and being like, your physical environment needs to be this. We are helping you to
yeah,
identify what you want from this area of life and what is meaningful for you in all these areas of life, and help you break those things down, work through obstacles so that you can make progress, and feel meaningful, just feel like things are aligned. So yeah, so that's what coaching is too.
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. And like I said, y'all got a taste of it tonight. You literally got a taste of it with Courtney. Y'all see, did y'all just see, did y'all literally, she walked us through it, she coached us through it, and she did it with so much love and so much grace. And I just appreciate you taking time to spend time with us, Court. I appreciate y'all, fam, for showing up here. And then the middle of the week, hey, team replay. Y'all, we are doing it. It is
Yes.
April tomorrow. It may be April wherever you're at right now. Um,
Yes.
and we get this life. We get to choose how we live it. We get to choose how we show up in all of our spaces and places. So why not? Why not do it in a way that we love, that brings us joy, that excites us and motivates us? So I look forward to seeing all the ways that you guys continue to spring clean these goals. And I can't wait because we got another Moxie Mixer happening next month. Y'all
Yes.
gonna find out what the topic is next month. But
We gotta dig into our physical environment
I know
first.
we gotta dig into our physical environments, but we're gonna have more Moxy mixers happening, and you might see a few other team members from Team Moxy pop on. But we just want to say thank you for joining us, and we will see y'all around.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all so much.